Hello, guys. Today I really want to come out and I want to talk to you about sharing in the suffering. Second Timothy 2:3 said, "Share in the suffering as a good soldier for Jesus Christ." And today I want to talk to you a little bit about being a soldier. And we know about putting on the whole armor of God, and we know about that we are able to stand against the wiles of the enemy. But something that really came to my mind that really spoke volume is the fact that when you look on a natural or a physical or a soldier of this world, right? And a soldier enlist in the army of their country, you reckon that those soldiers, they are disciplined. For one, they give up love, they give up their own family life pleasures, their warm bed, all of those things that will come with a civilian living, doing what you want on your own time, going out, having vacations, doing all that. A soldier would give up all that when enlist in order to fight for your freedom and mine. And they leave their own kids. And when the soldier of a country is fighting, that freedom does not only benefit his kids and his wife or his immediate family, but that a soldier is considered in that sense selfless, because giving up his life and his freedom in order that you will be free and you will live the life that he is not living, that he's fighting for you to live. And we know what that looks like. And I began to have a conversation with my husband, and I begin to say to him that as soldier for Christ, we don't we should take it even more serious than a soldier for his country, because the soldier for his country literally gives up his life for his country. That comes first. And as a soldier for Jesus Christ, we ought to give up our life for Christ, and that comes first. What does that look like? The pleasure of your bed does not take precedence over serving the Lord. What does that look like? You got to wake up from your sleep, Nadine. You got to give up some of that comfort in order to fight. And who are you fighting for? First of all, sometimes we're not even fighting for our own household, you know. We're seeing things that are happening. We're seeing our children changing. We're seeing our marriages being broken. We're seeing things happening, and we go to bed every day and we get up back and we said, oh, whatever will be. Or we barely unintentionally, or we start out fighting and then we give up, whatever the situation may be and wherever. But I'm encouraging you today, not knocking you, but encouraging you today, like a good soldier that is enlist in the military for his country. We are enlist into the kingdom of God as a soldier of Christ, and we ought to fight. Well, the soldier in training will go through rigorous training in order to be able to be disciplined, in order to fight. And we wrestle not against flesh and blood. Our war is not against a physical person, but is against principalities and powers and rulers of darkness and spiritual wickedness in high places. And we ought to be able, looking for good light, we ought to be able to fight. And what does that look like? We have to train ourselves to get up early in the morning and pray. We have to train ourselves to fast. We have to train ourselves to be disciplined with spiritual discipline. Why? That we may be able to be good soldier, because it's not a physical soldier. So we don't necessarily need, even though it's good, we don't necessarily need you to do boot camp like like a natural soldier, but you're doing boot camp spiritually, and those are rigorous training. What does a spiritual training look like? Fasting and prayer, and humbling yourself, and laying aside those things that so easily beset you. That might be pleasure, that might be, the privilege to watch whatever you want to watch, eat whatever you want to eat, go to bed wherever, but you're disciplining yourself, not because of force, but because you want to be a good soldier. And these are the things that it takes to discipline you. Glory be to God. And that is why I'm here to remind you today that as a good soldier, right, we ought to be fighting. When we look around us, we're seeing day in and day out that the war is fierce and it's intense. And we let's get past the stage of being able to see that. What are we doing about that? If it's not your children, it's somebody else's children. If it's not your marriage, it's somebody else's marriage. If it's not your immediate freedom, it's somebody else's freedom and well-being. And like a soldier enlists for his country, he doesn't only fight for himself and his 4 kids. He's fighting for the entire country. He gives up his own right in order, his own freedom, his own pleasure in order to fight so that for the greater benefit. And are we doing that today? Or are we selfish soldiers that decided that we don't want to go to war? What? War? Oh no, it ain't hitting home. I'm safe. I don't know about my neighbor. The bomb is dropping over where my neighbor is, but I'm good. All hell is breaking loose in the northwest, in the south, in the east, but I'm good. You know, that country is doing bad, but I'm just going to flee to another country that is doing well. But as soldiers, we are called to engage the warfare. And in engaging the warfare, you have to put your whole armor on so that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the enemy. And having done all to stand, praying all types of prayer because it's a spiritual war. So it's not, as soldiers, we are not fleeing from the war. We're engaging the war. We're engaging the battle by fighting spiritually, and we fight our battles on our knees. We fight our battles in prayer. We fight our battles. These are the ways. So I'm encouraging you today that don't just sit back and watch your country, your town, your state, your children, your marriage, your mind, your friend just get just get overtaken by the enemy, these spiritual wickedness in high places, these rulers of darkness. Yes, don't just sit by and watch everything go on the siege. Be overtaken, be overwhelmed, be carried off like slaves while you go, well, I'm fine and it's not me. But know that you are equipped and you have the tools and you must engage in the warfare like a good soldier. You must. And you must be disciplined. And how does a soldier get disciplined? Through training. Nobody, when you started out, when a soldier is enlisted, that's why everybody goes through boot camp. No matter what state you are physically, there is a mental training, a physical training, an emotional training, an IQ training. Because what is it? The battle that you're getting ready for, you must be ready. Are we doing that as Christians? Are we getting ready on these different areas as Christians? Or are we sitting around undressed, occupied with pleasures, drunken by our own desires, that we are too drunk, too lazy, too blind to see or to do anything about what's going on in and around us? Because be not deceived, because you are in the world, because you're human. Another man is affected, and directly or indirectly you are. When your neighbor is affected, directly or indirectly, you are. When the economy is affected, directly or indirectly, you are. You cannot cut your nose off to spite your face. You cannot say, well, I'm not them. Oh, if it's happening directly or indirectly, it's affecting you one way or another. So let us be engaged in it. It's somebody else's children. It's somebody else's marriage. It's somebody else's hurt. Let's bear each other up and let's fight. As soldiers, when they get together to fight, everybody is one because they have one common enemy, and it's not each other. It doesn't matter their color, their creed, whatever is going on. We are going to come together to fight this common enemy. Let's come together to fight this common enemy because we all have this enemy. Glory be to God. I hope you're encouraged. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll talk later. Bye bye. Pray for me, and I'm praying for you. Together, we're stronger.